tell me what's the remedy that's turning me and my brothers into enemies. A week ago, I lost a friend to me to some senseless beef. Now we in the streets, loyalty defeated by royalty. We idolize being paid in full, while Netflixing and chilling in belly to be an adult. And notice that lifestyle will put you in the celly. Now you mad because someone's smashing your BM in the telly. Tell me what's the remedy that's turning me and my brothers to enemies.
What's up, Joel? Panama.
It's good, bro. It's good, man. Tapping in on me on the Man Cave, man. You already know, man. This is dope, man. Another dope session. Just want to keep this going. But, you know, this is a very special interview, man. We were waiting a long time to connect. And, you know what I mean? We put the word out. And, you know, me and you have a lot of similar experiences throughout our young life on our destination to success, man. And definitely your journey has been amazing, bro. So before we even get into all that, man, like, let's tap into the Man Cave. You know what I mean? You know, the power in our minds, the only we can feel and understand. But first off, man, let the people know who you are and what you do.
First off, I want to thank you for having me on your show, man. I really love what you're doing. I love the concept. I love the whole idea behind everything. For everyone that's watching and tuning in, my name is Chikazi KJ, known as Coach KJ, known as Savage Fitness. Born and raised in Nigeria. Came here when I was 9 years old to the U.S. You know, went through a little, you know, tough time trying to really assimilate and adapt to the culture in America. But long story short, you know, came to the U.S., hit the ground running, had to learn how to really speak fluent English, you know, because, you know, it's a culture shock when you come from a different country to America, and then you have to learn and pick up with everyone's speed. But from there, you know, went to school, did what I had to do, played high school football, beat y'all in, you know, football. Chiefs that day, you know, was able to help lead my team to a city championship, to an undefeated season. All right. And then transition to, you know, going to play college football. Had the opportunity and the blessing to play Division I football. Also had the opportunity to play professional football in the AFL and the IFL, the CIF, the NAL, the AAL. And now I'm transitioning to helping people, you know, transform their bodies and feel better about themselves. That's something I generally love to do. That's why, you know, I call myself Coach KJ, because I coach people on how to, you know, physically, you know, better themselves, emotionally and mentally, you know, better themselves. So with that being said, it's been quite of a journey, man. I'm excited for what God has, you know, in store for me. Every day is a new story. Every day is a different day to get better. And I truly cherish the journey.
Man, I think that's amazing, man. And I'm not going to let that slide. You're talking about you beat us in high school, you know what I mean? So if y'all definitely willing to beat us, I'll pop my shield out 2 weeks in camp, so I only play defense. I put your running back on the track, so we ain't gonna talk about that. You feel me? But y'all was the champions, man. And long story short, man, y'all did deserve that. You know what I mean? Y'all deserved that title. I think y'all beat Fort Hammond in the championship that year. And the long story short, man, football has created some great men along the way. It has gave us a fraternity, a brotherhood from meeting each other, from being rivals to being teammates at a short time at AIC to actually being brothers in life. You know what I mean? So I think that's very beautiful that we could definitely come together and build on that and make something happen in terms of business, in terms of partnership, mentorship. And you say they call you Coach KJ, you know, and being a coach in general, man, it's just about mentorship, giving back, and helping people believe in themselves, I should say, right? And that's exactly why we're here today. A very special book that I discovered throughout college and I was able to, you know, read throughout my adult life as well is the 48 Laws of Power. And when I think about Law 25, it says recreate yourself. And the person that I really thought about was you, because I've seen you go from a lineman of 300 pounds to weighing 200 pounds, probably 220. I don't know what you weigh right now. But I mean, you done fluctuated your body weight and your lifestyle to so many different levels that you probably look better than me right now. So it's crazy for somebody to actually have that confidence, that ambition, and that grit and that grind to actually do that and believe in themselves. You know, I done recreated myself as well from being a young knucklehead in high school or college when everybody first met me, compared to the man that I am now. And I know a lot of people are shocked, like, damn, Joel really changed himself, man. So let's really tap into that, man. So first off, what does it mean to you when we say recreate yourself?
first off, before I even dive in about myself, I have to talk about cheer recreation, right? I remember that knucklehead that came to AIC. I remember the first day we met each other, right? I mean, I didn't like you. You know what I mean? We personally did not connect. You know, you came in, I'm like, who's this dickhead from Brooklyn thinking he hot shit with a go-to? He's like, nah, I'm from Brooklyn, fuck out of here. You know, so it was, you know, it was a fun experience really getting to know you. You know, at first I remember I used to, you know, try to show off my rank to you, you know, just to get you mad. Because there was sometimes we had some altercations, but then once we really got to know each other, we found out that we had a lot in common and we had the same kind of ambition and drive and just tenacity and, you know, basically accomplishing whatever we wanted. And I could relate to that. That's why to this day, you're my brother, right? So with that being said, I've seen your growth and I've seen how you recreated yourself from this dude that came from the hood, from violence, from gang. I saw your environment. And the way you transition is to what you are right now and what you're going to be in the future is an inspiration to everybody. So I just wanted to give you your props and give you your flowers.
I appreciate that, man. That means a lot, bro. I mean, from the front line to seeing it to being with me on the block when we got pulled over from when the detectives pulled up on us in the car, talking about what we doing. And we were going to talk about what we was doing.
You threatened to slam the cop. I would never forget that.
That's a fact. I'm damn sure going to slam him on his neck. He's going to tell me I don't play linebacker. I don't care if you got a badge or not. You're going to respect me and respect me who I am. But, you know, that's just that New York mentality, man. You know,
exactly.
being from Staten Island, you know, we had that mentality that no matter where he put us on this God-green earth, we was going to succeed, we was going to survive, and we was going to elevate. You couldn't tell us nothing, you know what I mean? And when I first met you at college, I had to make sure I put my foot down because I seen you was a big cat and you was going to try to intimidate me. I think our first argument happened over like homework. We had like a group project together. He was like, yo,
Sociology class.
Yeah, sociology. I got tight. He was like, yo, I'm about to beat you up. I was like, yo, I'm gonna come back and clap you. He was like,
I'm gonna kill you. And I looked at you in your face like, yo, I believe you for some reason. I just don't know why. I believe you. But you know, those are definitely some good experiences. And you know, shout out to Staten Island. Don't sleep on Staten Island, man. We tough out here too, though. And you know, I remember that day when you told the cop he was gonna slam him. I will never forget that day. I was like, yo, he's crazy. I like that. I like people like that in my corner that I could go to war with. You know what I mean? So, because I'm crazy like that too, but I kind of emulated, you know, the way you were so vocal and you were so confident. I like that, and I copy that because I always try to learn from, you know, everyone I come in contact with. So you asked the question about recreating myself. You know, it's just a feeling of how bad you want to recreate yourself. A lot of people, you know, say they want to do it, but they don't really put in the work. You know, being at my heaviest 327 pounds, you know, I had, you know, low self-esteem, no confidence. You know, I had heart issues. I had high blood pressure. I had high cholesterol. I was very unhealthy. I couldn't climb the stairs without my chest, you know, without feeling a pain in my chest, you know, and sleeping was hard for me. Little things, even walking a mile, I'll be exhausted. My back would start hurting, you know. So certain things, you know, really played a part in me trying to recreate myself. But it wasn't until the day I transferred to Delaware State University, and I went to the health office and I had to get a physical. I went in there to get a physical. I'll never forget it. I remember it like it was yesterday. I walked in, I filled out the paperwork. The lady looked at me and said, "Okay, you're 327 pounds. Are you playing football?" I was like, "Yeah. You know, I'm about to go play offensive line or D tackle." So, you know, they checked my heart, but my cholesterol. You know, they had to go through the whole rundown of the physical. And they said, "Sorry, we have to really, you know, inform you that you have to put you on some medication." Now, I'm probably 20 years old or 19 at this age right now. And the fact that they're putting me on medication that my father is taking, and my father at that time was probably 55, kind of shocked me. And I couldn't believe it. I'm taking blood pressure medication at the age of 19. And, you know, she basically told me that, you know, to be, in all honesty, you need to change, you know, your lifestyle. And she didn't need to tell me. I already knew, but I was just being very lazy about it. I just was comfortable being the big guy. The fact, you know, big guy in the group. And, you know, I wasn't bothered. So, but moving forward, I also had another reason why I wanted to recreate myself. People ask me, yo, why did you lose so much weight? I have a few reasons, but one of the main reasons was I wanted to, you know, become more attractive to the female species. You know what I mean? I wanted to get more girls. You know, simple. Yeah. I'm sorry. You know, it may sound crazy and, you know.
Whatever motivates you, man. Whatever makes you feel better at the end of the day.
Exactly. So I remember when I started my journey, you know, it was tough. So it'll be a lot of lonely nights in the gym, hoodie on, sweating, high in the body. Every day I wouldn't win every day. There'll be certain days I would feel depressed, like I'm not getting anywhere. You know, it wasn't until I started educating myself, taking the time out and learning, reading on, you know, how to achieve weight loss, how to burn body fat. I started training differently. I started training to my body type. I started eating to my metabolic type, you know, to my blood type. Right. I started grabbing information and applying it. Instead of just reading it and not using it, I started applying information. I started being more consistent. I started tracking my calories. I started asking other fitness professionals that had the body that I wanted. Because a lot of people are intimidated to go ask people for help. I wasn't like that. It was like that. If you know something that I don't know, I want to learn from you. I don't care who you are. If you're the janitor, I want to learn from you. You know something that I don't know. And I took the advantage of really reaching out to people that I saw that had the physique that I wanted and asked them for advice. And they gave me the information and I applied it. And that's what I do for people now. Once I crossed to the point where I wanted to get to, I decided to say, you know what? I'm going to give this back. And that's what I do now. You know, you can follow me at Coach KJ on Instagram. I give tips. I give stuff that people are not going to tell you. I let you know how it really is. Because again, I told people I'm your favorite former fat boy. Who would you rather, you know, give you tips on how to, you know, really lose that weight, right? I'm sure everyone lost weight, but I lost 100 pounds. You know what I mean? I dropped it. And
the right way too.
The right way.
Right way. Because some people, you know what I mean, they do lipo or they lose 100 pounds, but they still got that excess skin or their body don't look right. My man did it the right way. If you see his transformation, he did it the right way and he looks amazing at 200. He doesn't have that excess skin or that body fat hanging on his belly. Nah, my man did it the right way. You know, and one thing I definitely want to tap into is the life occurring event that made you make that change. You see, everybody has a situation in life where they have to make a decision, whether they're going to make a change or continue down that same path of destruction. And whatever motivates you behind it to stay persistent, or I should say consistent, on that journey is whatever you have to put in front of you. See, me, the first time I ever picked up a weight, and you might laugh, you know what I mean? The first time I ever started lifting weights is when I remember, I tell everybody this story. My sheepshead babe, I'm a sophomore starting on varsity, playoff game against Fort Hamilton. Jaquan Jarrett got the ball.
I remember the story.
Remember I told you, bro, slipped on me and said, yo, we lift weights over here. You know what I'm saying? I'm a sophomore on varsity, never hit the weights. I was just naturally talented, so I'm starting. But I never took weight room seriously until I met somebody who hit the weight room and also had skills and had the time to tell me while he running the ball, we lift weights over here. So that opened up my eyes to something. Then a couple of weeks later, I lost one of the baddest girls I ever went out with in my life in high school, you know what I mean, to another female. So those two current events right there motivated me to hit the weight room because one, I was tired of being skinny and being pushed around on the field. Two, I wanted to increase my confidence so that when females see me, I felt man enough that they didn't have to go to nobody else. You see? But it's what you use to motivate you. Those same current events could have made me give up. Those same current events could have made me say F football, you know what I mean? Or forget females, or I ain't trying no more. But there's a difference between a go-getter and somebody who just surrenders to failure. And that's why I definitely look up to you, and I believe we look up to each other, man, because no matter what life throws at us, bro, we just keep pushing. We keep grinding, and we keep achieving.
And can I that story? That story, I remember the first day you told me that story, right? To this day, I use that same line. I don't know if I ever told you that. I still use that line. I lift weights over here. We lift weights over here. I will never forget it. We were in the DC, and you told me about Jaquan, right? Because at the time, Jaquan was at Temple with my boys. And when you told me that story, I couldn't stop laughing because the way, you know how to tell stories. They're hilarious, tell stories. And the way you told the story, I really pictured it in my head how it looked, and I couldn't stop laughing at that story because that was the funniest story I ever heard when you first came.
It was even worse in real life. I'm telling you. It was even worse.
I truly appreciate that, man. Yeah, man. I love how we lift each other up. We're not in close proximity anymore. We don't see each other as much as often as we used to in college. But the fact that we're still pushing each other, I see your stuff on Instagram. I try to make sure I connect some way because I tell people I connect to the vibe, not the person. The person, nice. The kind of soul, the kind of energy the person has. And I've experienced that with you. We've fought together. We've done a lot together, right?
Nice.
Literally. Episodes in college, we had that college experience, long story short. We lived that kind of college life. And now we're transitioning to becoming, inspiring men. I feel like we need to tell some of these stories. And I don't know if you want to chime in on some of these stories or you want to, keep talking about, what we plan to do, whatever you want to take.
We can definitely tap into whatever story you want to talk about. Let's definitely talk about our college experience. The first college bang out we ever had.
Okay. All right. Which is it? The one when you broke the door to go into one of the dormitories?
I forgot all about that one. Okay.
I
thought you was talking about Holio. I thought you was talking about Holio.
Nah, that one. You can tell that one. But I'll tell this one because I remember this one like the other day. So it was a big party going on, and my boy Thompson and everybody was bouncing the parties, right? We couldn't get in because there was a big commotion that happened and there was a fight that happened, right?
Yep.
So we trickled back. I think we were upset because we couldn't get into the party because we really dressed up and we were, ready to really have some fun and get some girls. So we're outside of the dormitory called Magna, chilling, right? And you was over here. I'm like, yo, P, relax, man, just chill. It's all right. You're like, nah. I think you were also stressing about something too going on back home, right? And out of nowhere, you were the first person to notice a commotion going on inside, the lounge area, the front desk area in the dormitory in Magna. And you're like, oh shoot, they fighting. I think it was Martin Thomas fighting with
Martin was working the front desk that time. Remember, he was the RA.
Yes, and he got in a fight with one of, I think it was the track guys or the basketball. I don't know who it was.
Nah, it was some dudes from like New York or something. I don't know, Queens or something. Dudes came to campus. They was fighting, and then it was like Marty man. So they started fighting. So we jumped in.
No. But that's how we jumped in though. I remember you seeing the fight, and they was like, "Oh shoot, they fighting!" And we didn't know the access code because everything was going on so fast. We couldn't even push the number in to get into the door. So P. Joel, I call you people back there. We used to go, P, grabbed the door and busted it open. I was like, what the? Like, I would never forget that. I'm like,
how open the door? Because you supposed to use a fob to open the door.
You knew the code. Is either use a fob or you use a code to open the door. All I remember is like God gave you some kind of strength that day and you ripped the door out of the hinges. And God, he's like, what's up? I'll never forget that. When I was watching, he's like, what's poppin'? He's like, you let the frustration from whatever that was bothering you trickle into the room. And then I remember Motez holding you back because you couldn't get in another fight because you were already on your third strike on campus. So we, as your friends, try to take you out of the area, even though you didn't want to listen to us. And we're like, no, Pete, you gotta get out of here because if you get in trouble, guess what happens? You're expelled. You know what I mean? So we made sure we took you out of that situation to make sure you continue on your journey to, graduate and become the person you are today. But I would never, because the whole time I was in control. I remember I just grabbed some people off of, my dudes. I didn't really throw a punch that fight, but I remember you was trying to knock it. I was like,
yo, bro, I forgot all about that. You know who else was there? My boy Lito, man, from Eagle.
Yeah, Lito. Yeah,
Lito was there. But you know what's funny, man? You said that was like my third strike, and it's crazy because it's like, really and truthfully, my sophomore year at AIC was kind of a struggle. I just transferred out of Kansas, Garden City Community College, one of the top JUCOs in the nation, you know what I mean? And I was out there for the first year. I went through a lot out there. Thought I was going to start and trying to go D1, but things didn't work out in God's plan. And then when I came to AIC, they told me I would have had a scholarship, whatever the case may be, and I really didn't have one yet. I had to earn it. And then also I wasn't eligible to play. So with those things going on, my mom having to work extra hours and pick up jobs just to pay my tuition, you know what I mean? All of that frustration built up. So my first year at AIC was a living hell, to be honest. You know what I mean? I didn't like the campus. I didn't like the school, you know what I mean? But y'all did keep me well-grounded. And that's important to have the right people around you. And it's all about your environment and your friends and the choices that you make. And if you guys didn't help me make the right choices at that time, you know what I mean? Only God knows what would have happened to me. You know what I mean? And that's definitely a part of the journey of me recreating myself. Because fast forward to the next year, you know what I mean? I'm matured in a way where I settled down. I understood what was important to me. And then next you know, I'm starting on the football team. And after that first season, I'm preseason All-America. You know what I mean? So it's like I said, man, it's those events that occur through life that forces you to recreate yourself.
And that's a testament to your hard work and grit, man, because I personally saw it before it happened. You may not believe me. I can ask any of my friends, my boy that plays for the Cardinals and plays for the Jaguars, before he went to the league, I already saw him going to the league. You know, there's just certain things about people, all the people, they say I'm psychic. I don't say I'm psychic. I just feel like I could see someone's story. And I think you told me your story in college. When you gave me your stuff, I was there, you know. We used to work out together, you know. We used to push each other in the gym.
The reason why I became like 220, 230 in like 3 months, bro. We had to keep crazy, lifting like crazy. I also caught a hernia.
Yeah, but, you know, I remember seeing, you know, because I knew I was on my way out. I already knew I was going to transfer. But I knew you were the future of AIC. But, you know, you were going through the, you know, transition period of coming from Kansas, from JUCO to AIC. And I already knew how AIC was. I just didn't want them to, you know, really, you know, I didn't want you to have a bad experience like I did. Because I feel like they needed you more than they needed me, you know? I just feel like we didn't really match. But you came in with a different kind of energy that I used to come to your practice. I've told you this before. I used to pull up just to watch, you know, I wanted to see, let me see if he's really that good, right? And I will watch, I'm like, oh, nah, I like what I see, you know? And long story short, man, you grinded. That year was tough for you. I remember there's one time you brought a hammer. You know, I remember one day, Joel said, yo, I'm about to go get the hammer. I'm like, yo, Pete, hold up. Like, no, don't do that, bro. It's not necessary, bro. We're not in Brooklyn. We're not in Flatbush right now. We're in college. We're in college. We don't need the hammer right now. You know, no, literally, I got the hammer and he whipped out a real hammer. I was like, this something, what the?
Yo, I almost killed that kid that day, bro. God stopped me, bro. God stopped me, sir. But like, it was like you said, you know what I mean? Like this whole conversation is about, bro, just recreating ourselves and going through those experiences and seeing the mistakes that we made in that real time. If it would have went any other way, man, other way, only God knows where we would have been
exactly.
At. You know?
If it goes the other way, we're in jail right now. Some of the stuff that we did when we were younger, we're in jail right now.
That's a fact. You know? That's a fact. You know, we got to spread that word.
Yes.
That's why we got to spread that word. You know, especially for any kid watching this from high school to middle school to college. You know what I mean? Yeah. What is the most important experience that we've been through, you've been through, I've been through, that you could explain to them? Because where we at today, we are successful young Black men.
Yes.
No criminal records.
Nope.
We have professionalism. We have a resume that will do laps around anybody else, and we could contest any job on or off the field.
Yep.
Today. So what message would you give somebody coming up in the game right now, looking to be a professional athlete, looking to just be a professional person in the real world, but they're struggling? They're going through gang violence. They're going through depression in the household, or they're facing that fear of failure. What message of wisdom can you give them?
I got a few words for that. First thing is what my dad always taught me. I think I posted on Facebook. First thing is life without challenges is boring. And I'm gonna repeat that. Life without challenges is boring. So if you got everything you want and you didn't have to work for it, that would be very boring. You have to understand that you have to embrace problems as they come. Embrace it. You should actually want problems, because that shows and puts you to the test on how you can handle that problem and overcome it, and then you get stronger for the next problem. So you have to actually embrace it. Don't run away from it. And also, fear is a mind killer. You know, I'm part of Omega Psi Phi, Root to the Bros, you know, but that was one of my favorite poems, right? I'm always scared, but, you know, courage is the act of moving forward with fear, right? We're always scared. You know, moving from New York to LA was a big fear for me, but I did it anyway because, you know, that's courage. And then the poem I'm talking about is fear is a mind killer. It's a tiny little evil that disintegrates you from the inside out. You must learn to face it, to control it. All right? That's fear. You got to face it. You know, we're always going to be scared. We're going to be scared to marry. We're going to be scared to apply for that new job. We're going to be scared to try a team. We're going to be scared to transfer if we need to. We're going to be scared to go to a new school. We're going to be scared. And I'm speaking from my experience. I'm not speaking from something that's I read in the book. I've done everything that, you know, I'm speaking about. I'm not trying to glow or be, you know, cocky, but yes, I was scared to transfer AIC. I was scared to try out and walk on a Division I football team. I was scared when I was going to do my pro day. I had fear all the time, but that will never stop me. Once you understand that, you know, problems, fear, and adversities are part of life, you're going to be okay, man. Just keep rolling the punches. And I'm sure you can relate to what I'm saying because you have fears too, you know? And you still make it, right?
You know, just to throw a quote out there, man, you know, they say fear is an illusion, but danger is real.
Yes.
And the reason I love that quote so much is because, like you said, fear is something that we put in the back of our minds that stops us from actually pursuing our goals. When really and truthfully, if you have some type of fear, if you have those butterflies when you're about to achieve a new goal or apply for a school, apply for a job, or start a new craft, that's because you're actually going to be great at that. And those butterflies should be there because it's going to challenge you and show you a whole new realm of yourself that you've never seen before. You know what I mean? So like you said, we got to own that fear and attack that fear because that's what's going to open up a new chapter in you. Going from New York to California, you know what I mean? You in a whole different time zone. You in a realm where you probably don't have too much friends. You don't know nobody, but you making your way in that world. You becoming comfortable in the atmosphere that you know nothing about. You're making that home. And you're being able to identify things in Colin UKJ that you never thought was there before.
Yeah.
You using talents, and you also being a video creator that's expanding your platform. You recreated your body to sell your business, bro. You feel me? And me transferring from New York City to being in Massachusetts helped me recreate myself as well. From being that violent person who was always angry and surrounded by negativity to actually being a businessman, a general manager, from working in the finance industry to the health and wellness industry to working back in the hospital now. You know what I mean? Like, one thing I take with me, especially from sports, is my leadership. I've never been a labeled captain, but I've always been a born leader. I'm not scared to do what's right. I'm not scared to step up and take charge and take lead because that's the only way I'm going to find out what's my true capabilities. You know, every loss is a blueprint to success.
Yeah.
You fail today, tomorrow you can't win, but you have to start the drawing board. You see, sports, football is so important to me because the reason why I was so great on the field is because I studied my opponents. I studied myself. I studied my tendencies. I studied the other person's tendencies. And I always knew what was going to happen before it happened. That's the same thing with life. When you fail today, you got to study what went wrong. You got to study what you did right. Make sure you multiply what you did right by ×2 in order to actually break through and receive what you really want. You know, it reminds me like the first year at AIC when we went to the championship. Our goal was to make it to the championship, so we lost because we only wanted to make it to the championship. Now, our second year, I changed our mindset and I said, nah, champions. Our goal is to be champions, not to make it to the championship, champions. So every huddle, every meeting, every practice, we broke it down as champions. So what happened the following year? We became champions. You really got to put what you want out in the universe and you will get it back as long as you work towards it. You know what I mean? I told myself 4 months ago I wanted to work in the hospital. Now I work in the hospital. 12 months from now, I want to be a millionaire. And I'm not going to stop there. Kanye West is the richest black person in the world, of $6.6 billion. I want to be a billionaire. And I'm going to put it out in the universe, and I'm going to put it out there because at the end of the day, it's feasible, it's possible, as long as you work towards it.
Exactly.
And that's all a part of the Law 25, man. Recreating yourself, being courageous enough to go out there and do things that's going to make people talk about you in a way that make you seem like you're bigger than yourself. And we got to stop downing ourselves and putting ourselves on a platform where we feel like we got to walk and talk a certain way or move a certain way to be accepted. We are kings and queens of our own nature, of our own environment, of our own society. And what we do, people replicate and people copy. And if what we was doing so wrong, why everybody would be like us?
Exactly. And also, just to piggyback on what you're saying, right? Just a few more words for the people that may be watching. You know, another one that I cherish is get uncomfortable. Get comfortable being uncomfortable.
Thanks.
Right? Like people are so scared to be uncomfortable nowadays. I don't understand why. I love being uncomfortable. I love that anxiety feeling, you know, because again, you get to test yourself, right? And also, you mentioned something about losses, and you know, every loss you take, people get, you know, heartbroken and distraught by taking a loss. You know, every loss, I don't look at a loss as a loss. I see it as a lesson. What did I learn from this? Am I going to move forward? How am I going to apply this and get better? You know, and basically, I never feel like I lost. I just feel like, okay, that's not the way to do it. And maybe let me try a different way. You know what I mean? I found I found different ways that didn't work. You know what I mean? That's what a loss is. That way didn't work. Now I know that way doesn't work. Let me try this way. So again, you can't be too worried about losing. I actually want to lose sometimes because I get better. I don't know if you watch Dragon Ball Z, right? You ever watch Dragon Ball Z?
Of course, man. Who the hell gonna watch Dragon Ball Z, especially for my era? Goku.
Whenever Goku got in a fight and he lost, what happened? When he came back, he was what?
He was stronger. What was he like? What was that? The
Super Saiyan.
Super Saiyan. Facts. Super Saiyan.
But for him to get to Super Saiyan, he got his ass kicked. You know what I mean?
Yep.
That's a good way to kind of look at it in life. Is losses need to happen for you to grow to that next level that you tap into. So I'm never scared of losing. I even tell people, like, I remember one time I was sparring, I was doing boxing, I was like, and someone invited me to a little sparring session. I wish we could record, but sometimes they don't let us record because some people don't want their content out, right? Yeah. And I hope I get my ass kicked. They looked at me like, what? What do you mean you hope you get your ass kicked? I'm like, yeah, that's how you get better. Like, what you mean? Well, I don't want to go there and dominate. That means it's too easy. You know, like I want to go there. I want someone to try to put me in my neck. Because now I'm going to tap into a different savage mode. You know what I mean? Because now I got to get better. So with that being said, man, I just, you know, I love all the messages that we're really, you know, talking about right now. There's a lot of value in this conversation. And we started from the gutter. And now look, general manager. I'm a QIDP. I'm a supervisor. I have my online business. I'm personal training. I'm helping, inspiring people. You're doing your thing. You have this platform where you can have conversations like this. And I remember when you were thinking about coming up with this platform, I told you, Pete, talk about whatever you want to talk about. I don't care. Stop caring about what people think. And I remember I told you, you know what I mean? And I said, do what makes you happy. And I'm going to support 100%. I bought your hoodie, you know? I be rocking it. I got to send you a picture out to you anyway. I'm going to post it soon. I rock it. Sure. I love the hoodie, man. Thank you. I'm like, yeah, thank you. It's my boy stuff. It's Dan Kid. Check him out on YouTube. Boom.
And you know what's crazy, bro? It's so real because fear of failure will really have you procrastinating and holding back on your ultimate human being of who you really could be. You know, this hoodie, my platform, the personal trainer working with kids, it's things that I always thought about in the last couple of years, but I finally put into action when the pandemic hit. 12 months ago when we hit lockdown and COVID really struck the United States, a lot of people went into that depression mode where they received losses, you know, and their businesses closed down. They may have lost a family member, may have lost a loved one, and not everybody was able to bounce back. And some people say, hey, if you couldn't bounce back, if you couldn't find a hustle, then it's not in you. Yeah. I really think that some people just need to focus on them, focus on what they do have in the support structure, and dwell on that. You see, we all got $1 million, $1 billion dream inside our heads. It just takes us to put it into action, put it into perspective, and then you will reap your benefits. And The moment I started doing that, the moment I started dropping the man cave, the moment I started dropping the hoodies, I started to reap my benefits. And mind you, it wasn't about the money. It was about the gratification of me actually taking ownership of my dreams and putting it out there and actually seeing that people really responded in a positive light towards what I was doing. That's the most gratifying thing that you could ever do, man. When you actually put your name on something that you created, is a beautiful thing. And we need to take more ownership in terms of doing stuff for ourselves so that we could actually create this generational wealth, because ownership and entrepreneurship is not just a vocabulary word. It's really something that needs to be recreated and reinvented so that we could actually have a real Black Wall Street in every state in America, because it's needed. They're saying that in 2053, the average wealth of the Black family will be 0. That's scary, bro.
Yeah.
That's scary.
That's right. But we can change the narrative, though.
That's a fact. We are changing it. We are changing it day by day, step by step, man. And moving on from here, what was the most important experience that made you want to recreate yourself?
Most important experience? I think I mentioned it before. Like, there's the fact of the healthcare, and also I just felt like I was much more than what I was showing, and I just wanted to be someone I would be proud of, and be like, yeah, I did that. That. I said I was going to go D1, even though people didn't believe me. I told people, my coach looked me in my face and said, yeah, you can never play defensive tackle in college. You're strictly offensive lineman. If you don't know about football, offensive linemen is the people that protect the quarterback. And I used to tell them I could play defense, and I had to recruit myself because I was looked at as an offensive lineman. There's certain aspects that you have to recruit yourself. It's not only one. There's certain ways you have to recruit yourself. And I remember when I transferred, even when on my way, I was trying to transfer from AIC, where me and you went. People at AIC were telling me, "Oh, why don't you just stay? You've already been here for 2 years. Like, what are you doing?" Some of my friends, I'm not going to mention any names, but they know who they are. Telling me, why don't you just stay and hang out here? You're already been here for 2 years. Just finish out your last 2 years. And I said, nah. I'm going to take a gamble on myself. I'm betting on myself. I know what I can do. I believe in me. I'm my biggest, and I know what I'm capable of. I don't know what the future holds, but I'm ready to run into it, And I took the leap of faith, and I transferred out, and I recreated myself. I remember when I got to Delaware State University, even get on the team, I used to go there to their practice on the field. I had no living arrangements. I was living on the couch. I was sleeping in my car some days. People don't know that. Slept in my car some days that I couldn't afford the housing. I had to sleep in my car in Hurricane Irene. Sleeping on my friend's couch. Shout out to Danae. She used to hook me up with her couch. I'm the godson. I'm the godfather to her son. And I remember those days. And I remember whenever I had free time, I would go to the football team's practice, and I'll stand outside. Just this big Black guy in the hoodie, just watching them practice every day. Eventually, the coach came to me and said, "Who are you? Why do you always come to our practice just stand here?" I'm just trying to play, man. That's all. That was my way of making contact with the football team and the coaches. So when they asked me, "What position do you want to play?" instantly, the message and the burning fire that motivated me to even transfer, told them straight up, I want to play defensive tackle. Why? I could have played offensive tackle. I could have played offensive guard. I could have played center. I played all these positions. This is what I was used to. But I wanted to be comfortable. You know what I mean? Yeah. I wanted to try a position. I wanted to try something different that I've never done before. I wanted to challenge myself. I never played defense ever in my life. Never. I never played at high school. They didn't give me the chance. But I remember what that coach told me. You never told an African man, especially me, an Igbo man, Igbo Kwenu, that you can't do something. I will make the words. I will paint them. You know what I mean? And when I was asked what position do you want to play, I looked at the coach and said, defensive tackle. You sure? Because we have open slots at center and guard. You could be second string right now. You know, if you go to defensive tackle, we have a bunch of defensive tackles. You'd be probably fifth string. Sign me up. You know what I mean? I took the chance. I got shitted on in practice. I didn't get no rest in practice. No love, no play. One day I came with my shoelace untied. They made me go flip tires because I was a walk-on. They gave me the ugly jerseys. Someone stole my visor. You know, every day I had to prove myself, but I couldn't even prove myself how I wanted because I didn't even get no practice time.
Right.
Long story short, I'm gonna skip all the extra stuff. Right? Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Hold on, let me just respond.
Your video went up.
All right. So, long story short, right? You know, of course, I had to fight a couple players. I had to do what I had to do. You know what I mean? Just to let them know I'm not to be fucked with. You know what I mean?
Yep.
And long story short, week 1, I didn't start week 1. I was pissed. I'll never forget that. I was pissed. But when I did get in that week 1 game, I was able to make some plays, you know? Yep. Week 2 against UD, starting defensive end. Never played defensive end in my life. I never forget looking into the crowd at the University of Delaware. This is the student where Joe Flacco, you know, played at. And looking in the crowd. And I'm here in the 3-point stands at the end. Never played defense in my life. Put my hand down. I'm over here like, okay, let me just do what I did in practice, right? You know, I've been drilled already on what to do. I just have to do my job. And I put my hand down. I'm like, I can't believe I really did it. You know, sometimes, you know, people, we get so fixated on where we're going and we don't look back and see how far we've come. And we don't pat ourselves for that because we're not really happy, which is okay. Because we have that, you know, relentless attitude that we feel like we could do more, right?
And I just want to tap in on that because for me, football was our God-given talent.
Yeah.
But our blessing back to God is what we do with that now.
Yeah.
And for anybody watching this, any kid, youth, anybody, female, it don't matter. I need y'all to understand the mentality, the mindset of the 2 young Black men that's talking here today. The ability to overcome adversity, the ability to persevere, the ability to demand our mark in this world, our position in this world, and not take no for an answer, has transferred not only on the football field, but also into real life. I mean, I had a situation like that, Colin, of course in football, but we're going to talk about corporate America real quick.
Yeah.
Graduate out of college with a bachelor's degree in business. I think I'm the shit. My first job, $9 an hour, sales clerk at Hertz as an intern. Mind you, I'm in grad school at the same time, trying to train for the NFL and be in grad school. And they told me, nah, we don't care about your degree. You got to start at base level. Long story short, 6 months later, I got promoted to a full-time sales agent, then a flex agent. Then a year later, I'm like, yo, I got a degree. I'm no longer going to be on the same level as everybody. I went to school to separate myself from everybody so I could be a manager. The manager told me, no, I just don't think you're going to be good for us. I went home that night and I said, I got a college degree. Within the last 6 months to a year, I got promoted to 3 different positions. I know this company, front, back, top, down, bottom. I'm the best sales agent. Can't nobody tell me anything different. And you're going to tell me no. I picked out my freshest suit. I shined my shoes like never before. I pressed my pants and put the sharpest crease in that bitch. Boy, I tell you. I went to work the next day with my resume printed out. And everybody, as soon as I walked up in the parking lot, everybody's like, yo, Joel, you coming to work today? I'm like, yeah. I walked straight to my general manager office, slammed my resume on the desk, and said, give me the interview for the manager position because I want the job and ain't nobody gonna tell me I cannot be a manager here. My manager looked at me with his eyes wide open, looked at my resume and said, I'm gonna give you the interview, but I just need you to go home and fix this, that on your resume, and you'll have your interview tomorrow. Fast forward, I became a manager. A year later, I became a manager to the manager that was my manager when I was an intern. You hear me, bro?
Yeah, that's a dope story, bro. I was there for those kind of stories. That it's so good to hear it again. And
it's amazing, bro. Just how we could take that mentality and that mindset and apply it to real life. See, football is just a tool, bro. It's just a tool. Whether we make it to the league or not, we both trained for the NFL together. We both been through the whole process together. We was at the TFL combine. We was at the workouts together. We've been through it all. We know what it is to fail big because we strove for greatness. We strive for greatness. Sorry, you get what I'm saying? We wasn't people who went for the basic things in life. Nah, we try to go for the NFL. We try to go for the top 10.
And they missed out on 2 players, just to throw that out there. They missed out on 2 great players. But, just to go back to your story, man, the fact that you have that kind of confidence to walk into the office, slam the resume down, tell them, listen, this is my job. I'm the best one for this job, and you know it. And you got it. And then you ended up overcoming and passing all the managers that were there. That just speaks to your grit.
I still got my go-to till this motherfucking day. You hear what I'm saying? That's what he was talking about. But yo, that's just power, bro. That's the power in our mind.
Hold on, real quick, Joe. What time was it about our struggles? And when I hear the story again, I just remember. It takes me back to that time when you were working at Hertz. Grinding. With a degree, making that, I remember my first job with a degree was a janitor job. I was a janitor.
Wow, that's crazy.
I couldn't believe it. My dad, to this day, always looks at me like, I know, my son, look at me. I know you always make it because you took a janitor job with a degree because I couldn't get a job. I graduated with a degree and I was jobless for months. And I remember there was a job offer to go, be security at a pool. My boy Casey helped me get the job because I just needed something. I just needed bread. The job was paying I think it was $8.50 an hour, and I just I couldn't stay home anymore. I'm not the kind of guy that just stays home all day. I just can't. I decided to take the job. My job was to make sure no one broke into the pool and to mop the floors and clean out the garbage. I used to bring my dog with me. Me and my dog. I'll be training my dog, working out. Just in case for an NFL workout in the pool facility. And cleaning the floors. And a lot of people looked at me. I remember there was one day we were cleaning the grass and they said, oh, we need, they said they needed a new teaching assistant, right? If you guys know anybody that has a degree I'm like, I raised my hand like, while cleaning the grass, I was like, I have a degree. They looked at me like, you have a degree? I was like, yeah. They were like, what the hell are you doing here cleaning the grass? I applied for so many jobs. I didn't get anything. I have to do what I got to do to,
survive. Opportunity came right in that moment.
Right in that moment, I didn't really go to that job, but it took me to a different place mentally. Where I'm like, you know what? I shouldn't be doing stuff like this. You know what I mean? I did it because I had to do it. But just the fact that, I was ready to do all that, I told people I would survive anyway. If I have to sleep upside down, I'll sleep upside down, Yeah. All I need is a corner, and I'll survive. Just like I have that mentality, and you have the same mentality because we're here mentally. And no matter what we're given, we're going to turn it to something, no matter what. So it's just that drive. It's all about persevering through adversity. Adversity is going to come tomorrow. By the time I walk out this door, something's probably going to happen. How am I going to handle it? That's the definition of a enlightened and inspired man. How are you going to handle it? What are you going to do? You're going to be a little baby? You're going to cry about it? Or you're going to dwell on it? Or you're going to toughen the fuck up and make it happen?
Know that. Man, what a great interview, bro. I just want to wrap this up on this message, man.
It's essential to the soul. It's
essential to the soul. Friendship is essential to the soul. You know this quote just as much as I do. It's a Q-Dog quote. Friendship is essential to the soul. And I just throw you nothing but blessings, nothing but prosperity, man. Keep being great. Keep recreating yourself. Keep building your platform, man. We're going to be in a whole different space 12 months from now, bro.
Exactly. Every day we get better. That's it. And I want to thank you for having me on your show, man. Man Cave is going to be in everybody's mouth. It's going to be a conversation that everyone's going to be talking about, okay? And this platform is going to blow up to a level that you probably didn't even imagine. I'm telling you. Just keep being yourself, bro. You hear me? Look at me in my eyes. I beg. Look at me. Look at me. Look, you see this platform? I beg. I have to turn on the accent. Abi. You see this platform?
Yes, yes.
All right.
We will be in the kingdom one day.